life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of, no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
The regular season is over, yes. Oddly enough, my screen thing is not showing up. That's weird. See if we can get it to start working. Odd. Is it not plugged in appropriately? That's the weird thing. It should be working fine. Well, it looks like my cam's not working, which is a bit unfortunate. Anyways, guys, welcome to the match. It's going to be... Yeah, hopefully I can get this thing working. It's liking me very much now. If I... fix it. Oh well. Probably have to sort it out later. Looks like I might be camless today. Anyways, oh, yeah, okay. So we're just going to get right into the match. And I did cast this the other night. But I'm just going to do the whole thing again because it wasn't really salvageable. It was laggy all the way through. And keep in mind that that is kind of what I'm doing this cast as well. Is that it's mostly just going to be... trying to get through the games without there having to be a issue with it. I don't know 100% if it's gonna work out the way I want, but we're gonna get right into it because I'd like to get this test over and get into a game tonight to cast. So if everything looks to be working smoothly, then I need to know now. So anyways, pressing play. We're going to start. I think I have teams still set up on the appropriate ones. Yeah, it looks like it. Everything's updated. Get into the match. Oop, no, it's Control Shift G. There we go. Alrighty, so that's gonna be it. On the blue side, we have Periloot Argle Booster. On the Kira, Swill playing Muradin, Helio playing Stukov, Toasty on the Junkrat, and Carthan on the Artanis. On the red side, we have Polyon on the Jaina, Oddthought playing Uther, Nye on the ETC, Gambit playing Raynor, and Dark Knight playing. Ooh. Yeah. Is it internet based? Alright. So looking like stream quality's okay at the moment. I'm gonna keep tabbing out to take a look at it on my side. I think it was a fluke. I think it was a time of night thing. I don't think it should be repeated. And we're gonna see. But, you know, you never know. And it might, as it gets later, have this issue again. And I'm really hoping that's not the case. We're going to see a good engage coming out from Nye. Right onto Kira. And that's going to be the first blood going to Piecemeal. Now, Piecemeal's coming into this matchup as the underdog between these two teams. The 3rd seed versus the 6th seed. I did call a 2-0 from Periloot in this matchup. So we'll see if Piecemeal can prove me wrong one way or another, either with a 1-2 loss or a 2-1 victory or even a 2-0 victory on their side. But Periloot is a strong team. We're going to see a nice boop over the wall. Gambit's going to go down. That's going to be first blood for Periloot. They are on the board with a good boop. We're going to see if he can get up there, and now they're going to put the pressure on Nanai, but the counter damage coming out from Jaina is pretty intense. And camps are just going to get traded out. Artanis is trying to keep up with Zool in the double soak, but that's just never going to happen. Junkrat would actually have a much easier time of dealing with Zool. But Junkrat's all of your range damage. So it's one of those things where if you have them split off, it means you don't have any real threat here in the bottom lane. As Kira going in on any of this alone is a scary prospect. She has to step up into ETC. And the amount of damage that can be done by this classic combo, the Jaina Rainer, is quite intense, and he can really dish it out. And so they're going to be able to escort the first sappers right into the wall. That's going to get good value.
The altars in my name. The Raven Lord demands it. This realm and mine alone.
But for that 2-for-1 exchange, we're going to see the bottom four. It looks like it's about to be converted, but things getting a little scary. Wave is pushed up. Heroes have arrived. Junkrat's going to start poking out and start getting those stacks up. Kira, in the meantime, is in the top lane and see if they can push down this top fort. Lots of pressure coming out onto Toasty from Gambit and Nai. Nai finding that power slide, and Toasty just barely getting out by the skin of his teeth. But macro is still going pretty well, at least as far as experience counts, in favor of Periloot. You're not letting that Zool get too far ahead in the XP, but this bottom lane is so devastated. But a good rotation from Mirrodin is going to put pressure onto the back line. They're going to try to step up. Zool's going to take quite a bit of damage. Nice power slide, but it is Apollyon that's in trouble now. But he does get a fantastic heal, but it's not enough. Kira does finally finish the kill. Zool's going to hop back over, see if he can finish more. Gets a good stun on Nanai, but he's just going to heal right up. Odd Thought super slowed there. Good play by the Stukov to get a massive like 3-man tag, and traded that out to get a good slow. A little bit more pressure there could have ended up in a kill or two. Nice boop on Odd Thought. It's going to bring him a little bit closer than he wants to be, considering his health bar. He's really not wanting to use mana to top people off, and that's something you don't do with Uther. So Argyle gets the initiation, but gets poked out pretty hard there by Piecemeal, as he was kind of in on his own, and they were able to redirect some of their damage, and that's kind of the spot that he's sitting in. But conversion did go to the side of Periloot. They are still very much ahead in shots. Now with a 8-shot lead. But they're really not able to deal with this push coming out from Piecemeal. Follow-up stun on Argo Booster. He's not in a good spot. Good stun follow-up from Odd Thought. Now Argo Booster's going in with very little health. Yeah, he's basically using that to get himself out. And he does manage to peel off, but this tower is about to respawn, and that's going to make this difficult to engage on. So they're going to have to back up, let Junkrat kind of poke at it. As long as he takes out the waves and just kind of keeps throwing his bombs at it, it will eventually go down unless you see them step up. Which I would really like to see them do a bit But taking this camp is a risky business, especially the rotate coming in from Artanis. They get the swap on an eye with the silence after that. Puts him in a bad spot, actually, and I think he's going to go down. That's another kill for Periloot. Getting the kills on the board, getting the engages through. They still down that fort, which is a great macro kind of advantage that we see, but with the swap there, that's going to be the second kill. And it's 4-1 kills there for Piecemeal, or for on Piecemeal by Periloot. Periloot enjoying a nice, healthy lead. In shots, in kills, slightly in experience, though they are behind in structures, and they're not going to get this converted before they make the channel through. Kind of a misplay, I'd say, on the side of Periloot. There's no reason they needed to go behind 3 shots. Or 2 shots, I guess, in that exchange, as there was no pressure being applied to Artanis there. He could have easily stalled that out. And Argo Booster making a bad rotation is going to cost him his life, and that is going to be this bottom shrine, or, tower being pressured again. Junkrat down here doing his best to kind of block this out, but he can only stand up front for so long before he's got to start backpedaling away from this ETC, because if he gets caught, you know, Junkrat does great damage, but he cannot trade into heroes. Like, he flat out has to, you know, he has to be well out of their range and just kind of poke them out with the Qs. Once those are down, not really a whole lot he can do. He can kind of pressure an ETC once he's power slid in, as long as he's not the target getting hit by it. And that's going to be that. Bottom fort retaken by Piecemeal. And a great engage from Nye is going to get the kill onto Argo Booster. He's going to go down. And these last couple kills on Argo has really helped stabilize Piecemeal in this matchup. They are now even on experience. They're ahead in structures. They are only 6 behind, sorry, on shots now instead of the 8 they were before, because of that exchange in the top lane. And that's a great spot to be in. Having control of this bottom shrine definitely controls the engagement angles from your enemy team. It gives you an automatic advantage with a trade here. Again, 5 for 2 means you're gonna come out with a 2 lead there, or 5 for 3, right? And they're not even gonna allow them to do that. They're gonna get that bottom, which is again protected by having both forts here. So it has to be 1-for-1 trade. Now, Junkrat can get a lot done, but these bombs are not hitting anyone. If Junkrat's bombs aren't hitting, then it's not nearly as effective. We're going to see the engagement come out. Swillset leaving on the background, but that is a 2-man Ring of Frost. One going to land on Artanis, the other part landing on Argo Booster, but he wasn't in range of the damage, so he's going to survive for now. And that's a 1-for-0 trade there. They're looking to, like, really kind of beat this out using the poke damage from Junkrat, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough, and that's going to be another capture. And now that's 10 converted, means they are 4 shots ahead. They will be able to pick up this bottom tower, and it's a good turn for Periloot, and they're not massively behind in a lot of other ways. Like, they're only 4 shots down. They got this conversion back, and they're still more or less even when it comes to talent here. They're actually even slightly ahead, you could argue, with the experience lead. But Piecemeal has definitely done a fantastic job in this game, and with this engagement coming in from Swill, he actually might be in big trouble. It's a problem with hopping in with Muradin into Raynor Jaina. Like, unless that follow-up damage is securing a kill, I'd almost never hop in as Muradin in this situation. There's almost no good reason to do so. What they want to be doing mostly is just, with their fights, is poking in hard with Junkrat, and then looking for their engagement tools. And this is good representation of a composition that requires a bit of late game to really kind of come online. Junkrat makes that fight much, much better once he has endless nades and chokes, because they just constantly take the damage and they can't do anything about it, and he doesn't go on cooldown. So there's not windows that they get out. But a Ring of Frost going to come through. Doesn't actually land on anyone. The Argo Booster does get hit by the root and is stuck here. And there's not a whole lot that he can do to get out of it. And Zul's just going to chase him through using the Divine Shield. And he gets a nice 3-man swipe and just absolutely devastates his backline. Zul really kind of the big playmaker there and really put the pressure on. Toasty doing his best to survive here, but he's just not going to be enough to get it go poked out. But yeah, like Junkrat, a lot of time before you make any aggressive plays, you probably want to be hitting that 16 talents here with endless nades. And now we have a possible with that team fight, which is just a terrible time to lose 4 heroes. It's going to be a potential 3 cap with 5 shots. That's a massive lead. 15 shots going in on the core is going to put them into dire straits. And with the boss pickup right after that, you're looking at a whole, like, almost 20 shots. Now, that puts them down to 2. You know, they're not going to go for the boss. It is a risky play. But at the same time, they have a pretty good idea of where they're going to be. I almost would take it because with that boss, you only need 2, and then it doesn't even matter if they take the bottom tower. All that matters is you get the next objective. They're going to come down here for the defense, though, anyways, and I show up just in time to watch Kira get blown away again. For the 4th time in this game, just out ahead of the team, looking to make something happen with the hero, and instead just getting terribly punished by the double stun plus all of the damage that comes out from Rain or Jaina compositions. You know, it's just, it's a tough one. Alrighty, we're gonna see a huge swap onto Gambit, but the Divine Shield's gonna come out and keep them alive. Ring of Frost is gonna go down. It's only gonna land on Muradin. And Riptire is gonna put a lot of pressure on ETC. He's probably gonna have to actually back out here. And he does manage to squeak away, but it is Odd Thought that goes down. He does not have redemption, so that's gonna be 2 kills for 1. Artanis eventually going down. This tower is going to be forfeit, and that's finally a good position for Periloot to be in, as they were sitting in a very tough spot here. That should allow them convert on this shot here. Should almost be no reason for Piecemeal to care about it. They can go and continue to be ahead in experience just by double soaking this mid and top lane, using the Zul for that. And we're back to basically a stalemate game. Still definitely a big advantage in the form of shots. And this rotation could be a real problem. Junkrat getting caught out is exactly not what you want to happen. And it does actually finally go down to the last couple fire shots of that blizzard. And that's going to be a terrible spot to be in here, because they can really just kind of burn down this fort. You know, boss is still available, which is a win condition. They can wait for the next shrine, or 2 shots wins them the game. And the whole time they can just be sending a bunch of camps down this lane and really causing problems.
Once more, the altars rise from the depths.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna force them right into that position I'm talking about. Now here you've got camps on the bottom, altars popping up, boss is available, and what do? Do you let 3 shots go in and try to win a fight top with a wipe so that you can get 2 altars and a boss? Like, it's a really tough spot to be in. And yeah, they're gonna have to allow those sappers to go in and come up here for a full defense. Muradin making the leap in to see if he can get something on Dark Knight. Dark Knight immediately turning around and getting the root on it. Avatar coming out to keep him alive. There goes the final strike. It does land onto Jaina, and she does take actually quite a bit of damage. This is not as bad an engagement as you first might think, but unfortunately, the Riptire comes out too late. The delay on the Riptire means they can't find the kills on those 2 or 3 really low health targets. And that might cost them here. We do get the knockback from Nye. He makes it in and be able to stall it out here a little bit longer. 3 shots are in. They only need 1 of these to actually convert. Odd Thought making a bad rotation, and he does not have Redemption up yet, but the Ring of Frost comes out, lands onto 2. There's the pressure that we needed to see. Gambit gets the kill. Well, it was Zool actually, onto Muradin, and now the front line has been melted. Argo Booster trading out with Uther, but Redemption is available. He did not take the talent, so he's going to full die. And it's not going to matter. They're going to be able to get the conversion here, and that's going to be game number 1, going to Piecemeal, the upset victory here in game number 1. Definitely not what we were expecting to see, but what I am happy to see is my stream quality has not dropped, at least for a replay cast. I don't know exactly if that's going to stand up into a live cast, but it's good signs so far. Let's bring up the end of game screen so people take a quick look at the statistics there. I'll pop up the talents really quick so you can have a quick look at that. I'm going to pop it back to statistics, and then we'll do a "We'll be right back" screen because I actually have to use the bathroom. So I will be right back. So here's stats. One more time. This will be on YouTube, so you can just pause it. It'll also be a VOD on my channel here. I'll also do that. So, yeah, I'm going to post a "We'll be right back" screen while we set up game number 2, and then I'm going to use the bathroom. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. We're gonna do a game number 2 here. I did not update the winner because I'm dumb. And we will be going to Cursed Hollow. Map picked by Periloot, looking to see if they can make the comeback here. And I really want to move this along as I'm hoping to pick up the 6:30 PST playoff cast. So we're going to get right into the game without further ado. That's me dropping out. Anyways, on the blue side, Swill on the ETC, Argo Booster.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Playing the Chromie, Helio on the Tyrande, Carthan playing Dahaka, and Posty on the Junkrat. On the red side, we have Piecemeal, hoping to make that upset victory happen here. Nye on the Greymane, Dark Knight on the Diablo, Odd Thought playing Uther again, Apollyon, probably. Apollyon on the Jaina, and Gambit playing Sonya. We're going to see the first aggression coming out. Now that there's a little bit more backline damage, there's a little bit more threat coming up here, and ETC is on the other side, so there's still going to be a lot of stun displacement threat coming out from the ETC. We're going to look at Nye getting kicked off here. Lots of pressure coming in from the Swill. The extra follow-up damage from Argo Booster does not land, but he is going to manage to be able to peel out as the cooldowns are pretty long for the Chromie outside of the Q, and landing that Q in that situation can be kind of tricky. But pretty close getting to the second pick off there. So Uther's going to be trading with a Chromie? Well, Greymane grabs a camp. Jaina and Diablo just kind of spin around in the mid lane. Sonya into Dahaka. Generally give it to Sonya early. Dahaka later game can be a good threat depending on the talent build. And we can actually take a quick look at that. It is tissue regeneration, which is more or less the standard way. We're going to see Nye make the rotation down into the bot lane now, so Uther can back for mana. Greymane's going to try to push this up. Argyle is here. He does have a tap, so he should be able to shell this down. I don't know how quickly. Let's see. Put it sideways. But I don't play enough Chromie to really know if that works.
Heroes, gather tribute.
Meanwhile, Sonya and Jaina are going to rotate up here to deal with this camp. Easy enough clear. Junkrat ETC looking to see if they can get this cleared out in time to set up for the shrine. By the speed of the rotation here on the side of Periloot, though, I don't know if they're going to really make it here in time to make anything truly happen. Let's just say I would be surprised. But it does look like they do make it just in time. That camp's now going to be getting good value. It's a decent timing on it. I don't mind the camp draw on it. It just, because they weren't waiting to cap on it, the rotation to the mid lane or into the objective could have been a problem. But they did still manage to get here just in time to really set up. And they weren't blocked out of any good positioning, which is, I think, a bit of a problem from Piecemeal. It should have made it a lot harder for them to set up here, as they did have the rotation advantage. Because of that, the mid lane camp's going to get good value. They're going to get a nice pull here on the Diablo, and he's sitting in a bad spot. That spell shield isn't going to count for much when he's going down with all of that damage coming in, and that is too much to handle. Diablo dies, and that's another kill for Periloot. And I think with that advantage, the camp getting the wall and a good bit of damage onto the tower means that definitely, I mean, there's no doubt that exchange went in Periloot's favor. So diabolic momentum. Tyrande gonna go ahead and pick up the spell shield. It makes sense as the cleanse is gone. You don't get to use it until 16. Got moved off that tier. Apparently Blizzard thinking it is a better pick, or a better way of doing things, much like Kerosene. But the Kerosene cleanse sometimes doesn't get taken because it's on the 16 talent tier and not on the 7. So just an interesting interaction there. Kind of a soft nerf, but a great route into follow-up stun from Swill. He just eats any of the return damage coming through. No problem. That front line can tank through it without much of an issue, and all that poke damage, though, is causing these... causing lots of problems here for Piecemeal. The squishes can't stay awake, and that is a really good stun from Tyrande. Putting pressure onto Gambit and on Thought and getting the pick on the Jaina. So very well done there. Another fantastic exchange. It is on their side of the map, much more defensible. They were here faster. All of the things going in their favor there on that. With that kill on the Jaina, though, I'm surprised they didn't go for the boss. Junkrat Chromie's actually not bad. And you have the Hunter's Mark available to you, which means that that's, you know, almost an auto boss. In fact, even Piecemeal's going, well, we can boss, can't we? And that's exactly what they're going to do. And they do have quite a bit of boss burn, except Greymane is the best boss burn and isn't here. And that might cost them here because the rotation after the scout's going to come through. It is going to be a 4v4, but they are low. Chromie going down to Greymane in the bottom lane is a great thing. Diablo, though, is completely zoned out, and they don't want to leash this, but it looks like they're going to have to. But here comes Periloot keeping it leashed themselves. They don't need to take this boss. They just need to, you know, get the leash done. Chromie's going to be up in 1 second. Greymane getting great value in the bottom lane. I mean, look how low that was. It must have been a pretty damn tight exchange between those two heroes. So again, positionally, for the second time, we see Periloot getting a great spot. And with all of this Junkrat junk in the way, that's going to be a curse. So Greymane's going to help counter push this bottom, but there's a Dahaka rolling through, and that's actually a pretty good, given the fact that Greymane's so low. Yeah, if he gets hit by that tongue, he's in big trouble. You can definitely kite this, but that cooldown isn't going to take long to come back up, and I would be a little less aggressive. As soon as I hear that Dahaka, I just leave. Want to get Sonya down there. She's doing absolutely nothing in this top lane, and she could not step up into 3 heroes safely. Jaina looking to interrupt a rotation, but that's scary. There's an ETC Tyrande Junkrat there. You can definitely die from that engagement. So Periloot's just going to roll on into the mid. They're going to take out the second fort. Dahaka's going to continue to push up the bottom. Greymane is getting good value. I would like to see Dahaka just step up into him. He's taking way more damage than he needs to. And there's nothing to be afraid of here. You should just go for the tongue after tongue after tongue. And it actually looks like he might have what he needs to get the kill here. And that's going to be it. I think Nai's going to die. He only has 11 health. Oh my god, he doesn't die. And isolation goes out. It didn't land. He needed to think of that a little bit sooner. And I actually think that Karthan now might have stayed too long. Walking out of here is going to be quite difficult. He's going to dig out. So, side to side, we see quite a bit. And the boss does get taken, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. Look how quickly they took that boss in that exchange after the curse went down. They could have easily got that boss going right before they took the curse. And might have gotten a little bit more siege damage done in this bottom lane, but still looking in a good spot here. They are free at this moment to be able to push up with this objective, so. And that's a time loop on a Greymane right under a boss. He has to get D-shield to not die there. Very good. Curse Bullet comes out, does hit Carthen. I think that is exactly what we have, right? Curse Bullet, yeah. Does nail Carthen right in the face, but of course it's Dahaka, one of the few targets you don't want to really be burning that without a ton of follow-up damage is probably Dahaka. So keep front wall gone and a little bit of damage onto the keep. A pretty successful boss push. Not the best, but they don't exactly have like we're gonna take the game here kind of composition. They've got good siege damage, but it's all siege damage that it's risky to push up this far, especially with that Ripper Air on Toasty and without. It doesn't have an Enderhall anomaly, so that was. Chromie probably can stay there a little bit longer, but again, there's no immediate retreat option she has, just the Enderhall anomalies. You want to hope that you can catch enough people in those, and it's just not as reliable a peel as it used to be. I mean, it's basically a mini Void Prison, so it's probably more reliable of a peel than it used to be, but
Gather tribute.
Just generally speaking, it's not reliable enough of a peel. The camp's going to be circulated. People sharking around the boss. We're going to see Swill trying to keep his eyes on that while Tronda has cooldown. Sonya's going to back up. We're going to get the immediate clear on the mid lane. That's probably going to mean 5 seconds on the tribute spawn. They're probably not looking to actually contest it. They do have 13s, though. But they have no position on this objective, so they probably should just let it go. But they need to do something with that, like the advantage. And that's the problem. Unfortunately, there's no delay. They're going to look for boss, but they have to take a fight here. They can't actually take the boss. And they don't have to commit. Oh, that is a great engage from Diablo. The Curse Bullet comes out, but the Dig Cut does deny any of that follow-up damage. He uses his trait to heal up. There's a good Riptire combo, which is going to secure the kill. Onto Greymane. Carthen just doing work on Dahaka, finding the kill on Jaina. And now Gambit, super low, trying to stay alive, gets the pull onto Carthen instead of Argo Booster. Instead goes down, so that's 3 kills to none. Now boss is basically forfeit. And with this camp pushing the top lane plus a boss play, this top keep is in big trouble.
Red team has destroyed the fort.
So they do clear up the camp, which is nice. But it's pushed this lane very well. And it's full wave, going to be backing up this boss, plus all the heroes. Hopefully, they're going to get the tributes. Fine, they have time to do so. Now Chromie can start looking in to see if she can find an angle to get siege damage done. And that's where it's going to start. So setting up her images. Those Q's in. That's going to help burn down these structures much faster. There goes Curse Bullet back onto Dahaka again. I'm not liking the target call on Dahaka. Every single time we've seen Curse Bullet go out, we just see Carthen drop his essence and he's fine. That's a pretty big cooldown to be burning in those instances. So boss is going to get through the front wall. Pretty good poke damage though from Greymane and Jaina to actually burn this down. And so it's not actually going to get the keep because really with 16s, I really think that Periloot was too scared to go in there. I really think they probably could have committed to that, no doubt. And the fact that they didn't was a little bit sad. And this is a risky rotation here. Actually gets Argo Booster almost caught out. They do manage to escape. But the Leap's going to come in on Chromie, and now he's dead. That's what Leap is for, is to kill Chromie. So bottom fort went down to camp, which is a good thing for Piecemeal. We're going to see Junkrat try to make the rotation top and see if he can push in this wave. I like that play. Junkrat is really hard to track down. They don't have anything like a Lucio that's going to kind of deny his mobility. over walls and things like that. So he should be able to actually both push up this lane well and disengage. The boss here, I think, is a forfeit. Chromie's dead. There's really no way you can get Junkrat down in time. But the fact that they're going for boss does mean that he can clear out this keep uncontested. Which is going to be a trade for trade, right? Boss is going to go on to keep, which is good. It does have to go through keep wall. Good pull by Carthen's. Going to make sure the Dark Knight is actually in a bad spot. Good power slide with the knockback. It's going to put him into a really bad spot. The curse bullet finally hits a target I approve of, but there's no extra damage there to follow it up. So ETC is just going to walk away and heal himself up, and that's it. Great stun onto Apollyon. And now it looks like they're going to be able to clear this out. Good damage from the Rip Tire is going to discourage any further movement on the side of Piecemeal. They're not going to want to step up into this any further. Check the damage numbers. So very good defense. Finding the reset kill on Diablo is huge. And then negating any of that power from Curse Bullet, also very good. Gambit's low, and he's going to take a bit more shots from Chromie, and there's not a whole lot Uther can do about this. And he's going to drop a Q, but while he does that, Dark Knight goes underneath half his health. Doesn't have a healing increase, plus 14 armor, but he's going to go down. That's going to be a kill onto Diablo. Gambit really trying to get onto that backline, using the leap to aggress, but he does not manage to get the pick. Isolation comes out onto him, and he's going to die. So both frontliners are gone. This is Curse again, and catapults are already sitting onto the core. So this is a terrible spot for Piecemeal. I would have liked to see Periloot pull this a little better. They could definitely have Junkrat or Dahaka grab this and position themselves to get immediate value out of the Curse. They're actually going to push up into core range, and I think that this is a good and bad play. They do have 2 down, but this is kind of what I was talking about. The speed in which they make this call was too slow, but they do find a Greymane. He gets Divine Shield, though. That's going to keep him alive, and now it's Swill who's in trouble, but Curse is up, so even knocking him into the range of a keep isn't going to be enough to really get anything done. And now the lanes are pushed up, but this Curse is wasted mostly. It's really not getting the value you'd hope to see it get. And I think that they didn't set up appropriately, and then the shot call was a certain way, but the timing on it was too slow. But the leap plus the engage from the Curse Bullet engage from Greymane fails entirely. Goes to kill on him. Gambit super low, has to get out. And now things are not looking good. Piecemeal needed to not lose a hero here. They needed to take a fight, they needed to get a kill, and they needed to not lose a hero. But I would still say, given the fact that this was a very bad spot to be in, nice pull though on the Jaina is going to deny any of the follow-up damage from the Ring of Frost. That's going to be a kill. Dark Knight is sitting at 200 health. I don't think he's going to survive. He goes down. Carthen taking keep shots. But that's three kills so far. Greymane will be up in 12 seconds, but with both Diablo and Jaina out of the mix, this should be core. But it looks like they're going to go for the safe play and probably go right for the boss, which I think is okay. Junkrat's going to press up this lane, which is going to mean that they have split focus. They can't contest this boss anyways, but this boss does mean end of game. With level 20s pushing in, a very dire spot for Piecemeal to be in. And I think that the writing's on the wall. This is probably the end of the game here. 1 fort claimed by them. And the rest of the map just went to Periloot. They had better comp, better team fights, and they just were able to find the kills in the right moments. And they've just been really good on the rotations and the macro, which gave them advantages they needed into the team fights. And the execution is just difficult, especially with Uther. Like, you have to make those fights fast. Leap already being burned, just trying to get that initiation in. They need to get the kills, but there's going to be Jaina that goes down to the Junkrat and to the Dahaka. Dahaka getting the last thing, plus the bomb coming through. That's the thing about Endless Nades and Cannonball, is it's a huge area effect, and it just comes on. It just happens forever. As long as he lands 2 of those Qs, he's getting enough resets to just launch another 4, and that's just a scary prospect. This is going to be end of the game. GG. Well played. Those are your end of game statistics. End of game talents, and we're gonna move right on to the next one. Again, if you want to look at these more thoroughly, you can pause the video on the replay, or you can check it out on YouTube. The two. Back to the stats so everyone can take a quick look, and then I'm going to put us to a break. I will be right back. Oh, much faster this time because I and welcome back everybody to we're gonna get into number 3 here. My interview thing is it's just for some reason I'm not liking this whole bothering me immensely. All right, sorry about that. Trying to sort out why my webcam is not working. I'll try to reload OBS and see if that fixes the issue. But it doesn't matter. I'd like to get into this match and get it done with. So we're going to go to game 3. I don't know who map pick is. I've been trying to figure that out. So I'm just going to assume it's Piecemeal. But it could be either, and I don't really know. So, yeah. Without further ado, though, that's going to be it. We're going to get right into the match here. Here we go. Alrighty then. Helio on the Ariel, Argo Booster on the Chromie, Toasty on the Gul'dan, Swill playing Diablo, and Carthan on the Imperius. On the other side, we have Pullion back on the Jaina, Dark Knight playing Greymane, Nye playing Meridian, Odd Thought on the Lucio, and Gambit playing Leoric. So interesting composition we see. It makes me think that maybe this was actually a Periloot map pick. Just because it's a double mage composition with the Ariel, which and a Diablo tank, which isn't my choice for like your best defensive style tank. He only has a couple really only one really good peel tool, and that's his flip. He can charge things away, but that also puts him kind of in the spot out. But he is still a big beefy body, and I guess once you get him stacked, he's pretty decent as a wall tank because he can really soak any of the damage. So, in the end, it's probably still the right call. I didn't see the draft, so I don't know exactly who, where, what, when, why. Imperius into Leoric, interesting. Imperius is going to struggle on the wave clear once we get past level 4, but out of lane, he's definitely going to be able to pressure Leoric. Leoric has to dodge his stuns and kind of all of his combo damage, which Imperius can dish out quite a bit of. Definitely not a small amount. Bottom lane here's a bit of a different story. Jaina's great, but into 2 long-range sustained mages, it's a rough one. He does not have the wave clear to keep up. We can already see here the damage is just being output is so much for Lucio to handle. I don't know. I'd say Lucio is a good adjustment into what they're kind of bringing out, because Uther would just get Shrek'd here, but I think the problem with Lucio is he doesn't really get good until late game. They do put a lot of pressure onto Imperius there, though, with that rotation. They finally stall this out, because the bottom lane is just not a winning lane. Like, right now, there's nothing they can do. So much damage that they have to try to find aggression into, and they can just sit back. But they do catch it where they're split. They might be able to find a target here or there, but that's objective. And that's going to be objective with a Chromie Gul'dan pushing, and that's just a nasty composition. Now Diablo's back down here and back to tanking. He only has 13 souls. Probably why I don't like Diablo much on this map. I think stacking souls is very difficult to do here. There's no real lane rotations there. If he spends any time out of the lane, he's not going to get it. You have to get ganks, basically, for it to work. But he does have his level 4 talent, and that is another thing that does help. As long as he's sitting there spamming it, great kill on the Jaina. Yeah, with the kills and with the stomp talent now, he should actually start being able to stack up better. And this push just doesn't end. While meanwhile, top lane was easily cleared out by an Imperius, which Not something you usually you're gonna say. Nah, you're getting way too far out. Gets hit by the charge. The follow-up damage is there, and this just amount of sustained damage is too much. So game number 1, we saw a very even fight between these two teams, and you know, I think a drafting advantage going pretty well in favor of Piecemeal. Game number 2, we saw a pretty dang dominant game from Periloot. There wasn't really much that Piecemeal was really able to make happen, except for a boss steal. That was pretty much it. Argo Booster could be in trouble here, but nice positioning by Swill to just make sure that it doesn't really matter. Any shot's going to hit him instead. Argo Booster gets out, Helio peeling out anyone else that went around the Diablo. And that's very well done. I mean, almost a half a keep in health in the first objective is just exactly what you want. And now that they're tapped up and ready to go, they can just kind of turn around here and do it all again. And Nye again dropping to about 400 health. He's down low. Regenerates a good portion of that back quickly though, as it is Muradin, one of his skills. But this camp does look to be pretty much forfeit. A whole lot that can be done. Oops. Things are just falling apart for me. Went everywhere, but good thing I can pause. I don't know what happened to my screens. Oh, they're still fine. Cool. Unpause. Trying to get this thing to play. Won't. All kinds of technical issues, but not stream lag issues. Unless we just ran into something. It won't unpause the game. Unpause the game. What is going on here? Pressing the pause break, it's going right now. Alright, well, I know where we are in the game, so we're just gonna restart it. That's so frustrating. What an annoying thing. Unpause the game. It's not that difficult. What do you want? Okay. What happened to you? Okay, maybe just leave it for now.
Facility powering up.
Go do something with the booger. Yes, Devin. Please. Can you guys go play something in the bedroom like Legos or video games? All right, let's get back into the game here in just a second. Sorry, everyone.
You're under that.
Okay, where were we? So, camp was taken on that retreat. Now they're just going to go back here and grab another camp.
Looks like the beacons are reactivating.
Wait.
I don't want to hear this. I am casting. Sorry, I need to reestablish my rhythm here and remember that I need to be talking. Basically, just camps. 3 camps to 1. Aggression coming out, though, onto Argo Booster. He might have been a little bit too far out. Still eating a bit of that damage, but now the counter is coming back out. We do see the lane swap happening here, and it was a 5-man rotate to see if they get something to happen, but they still don't really manage to get anything done. Well, we see the pressure being applied. Stream quality still looking good. Not spiking anywhere. Live is really where the test is going to be, and I have to do it, unfortunately. So maybe I can find someone that can step in case I get in trouble, but we'll have to see. With 10s, that's definitely going to be the advantage here for Periloot. They continue to look strong here in game number 3 after a dominant game number 2. Piecemeal just trying to find the answers. This draft definitely, it looks like it took them by surprise, and finding the way to deal with it has definitely been a struggle. Unfortunately, the decision going to the bot lane to kind of contest that was a little too late. Leo's going to put a lot of pressure in. He does get a good Entomb, but he's going to get knocked around by that Diablo. Probably going to see Leo drop below 500 health, but he doesn't go down. Stroke of luck there. So another 100 point to 0 Zerg wave. There's a 5-man push here. Cartha not even bothering to step back because the wave itself and the towers is enough to deal with it. And there goes the engagement with a good APOC. Is going to secure the kill onto Gambit. 9 is going to be the next one to fall, and I think this is going to be a troublesome spot now for Piecemeal. End of game? Probably not, but it's definitely a lot of damage onto that keep, if not all of it. So worried about the Gambit engagement there. Not sure if Entomb is back up or not. They're going to back away. It isn't, but they don't know.
Defeated.
So another really good push. Goes through the fort. Goes through half a keep. But still not able to close it out there, which is unfortunate for Periloot. Damage numbers are actually staying relatively close, given at least as far as the hero damage. Comes down to the siege damage, though, it definitely seems to be a bit of a disparity there. At least with Gul'dan pulling far ahead the pack. Overall, team damage is really good on the side of Periloot as well. I like seeing that. It generally means all of your heroes are min-maxing themselves to get the most done out of every fight, including the healers, the tanks, and the offlane, not just the DPS players. Playing like that, the enemy team has a lot of extra damage that they don't know what to deal with. Nice rotation onto Argo Booster, though. Might cost him here. My camera work is just terrible. So, great Entomb, but Gambit super low. Fear comes out, hits 3. That's going to be a pretty devastating play for Greymane. And the top keep does go down because of it. And it looks like, though, with that kill on Jaina, it just might be enough to push in. I feel this is a little risky. It finally gives Piecemeal the engagement they were looking for, but they still kill Greymane and turn the fight around. So that's going to be, though, a kill on Ariel and Gul'dan, so things are not looking good for Periloot, but they trade out for Leoric, Greymane, and Jaina. So a lot of work getting done there by Imperius, as well as Chromie. And that might just be enough, but Argo Booster realizing he's not in a great spot with this Leoric sharking around. You barely missing. We're really trying to see if they can catch him, because him out would be a very big play in getting back into this game. But it looks like it's Imperius that they're going to catch him. He doesn't really have a lot of tools left. But Odd Thought, feeling like they were taking a little bit too much damage, goes ahead and drops Sound Barrier. It runs out, and then Chromie just snipes him out. That was a hell of a play by Chromie. That and one extra is able to just blow him up out of nowhere. Extra damage from Shifting Sands is pretty good. That's 3 kills. Diablo and Chromie looking for more. No frontline, no heals. And another channel already started here. Piecemeal is in pieces, with not a whole lot of ways back into this game, it looks like. Now it looks like I'm starting to have stream quality issues, so I might not be signing up for a live cast here. Unfortunate, but it seems like the issues continue. Makes me sad because there's a couple that need to get done that I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. It's around this time frame, which is unfortunate. Don't know what's going on. It's definitely a new change to things. A lot of things went wrong in this replay cast. I do apologize. I mean, stream says it's at excellent quality. I don't understand. Yeah, at 3,000 kilobytes a second. Maybe it's just my... You know what? I bet you it's my... I bet you it's the PlayStation. Oh, what I'm gonna do?
Hero slain.
Good engagement coming in from Piecemeal. Finding a kill on Chromie, who is out a little bit far there. Good turn thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop Twitch up on my tablet so that I can still read chat. Or I'm just going to keep tabbing out. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep tabbing out. Take a look at chat every once in a while. So finally things turned around for Piecemeal, and I wasn't paying enough attention, I think, in a lot of the situations where I didn't really cast out what was going on. Finding that Chromie pick definitely put them ahead, but Nye getting flipped over into a bad spot here is going to be the one going down. But even the half percent, well, it was way more than that on the blue side, is enough to take down that bottom keep. Actually, things are not looking great here. Gambit is out of health. He's got to stop this from pushing down its own core, which is already at 26%. And he died. This is actually terrible. This is a terrible turn of events. Can they be back in time? No, they're going to get stalled out. Dark Knight isn't going to make it. He doesn't. And that's going to be the game. Interesting way to end the game there. Spicy series, though. Definitely did enjoy it. Shut down the screen, see if I can get my damn hammer to work. And just double check on all the other things, and then see if I can sign up for the one in about half an hour or so. Pop up the talents here. I'll get these uploaded to YouTube. I'm sorry the quality is not as good as it should be. And that'll be it. Alrighty, folks. Go to the match screen. I'm gonna just say that that was probably a Periloot pick. They seem to come prepared for that match. That's it. 2-1. Periloot takes it, moves on to the semifinals, which was predicted. Though Piecemeal did make them think about it a little bit in game number 1, so well done there. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, I'm just going to quickly shut down the stream and then pop it back up for the live cast, because it seemed to have gone fine. I'm looking at the things that might have been twitching on my end, but only because it was on my PlayStation. So as long as nothing else is playing in the background there, I think it should be fine. And yeah. Anyways, I will be back soon for coming. We'll see you later.